Imagine you're living in a remote town at the very top of the world. Snow for miles, polar bears roaming outside your door, darkness for 4 months straight. And then you get sick, really sick. The doctors look at you, they look at each other, and then they put you on a plane. Not to a better hospital, not to a specialist. They fly you out because you are not allowed to die here. This is Longyearbyen, Norway, population just over 2,000 people. Location, approximately 1,000 kilometers from the North Pole. And this town has one of the most extraordinary and misunderstood policies on Earth. Today, we're going to tell you the full story. And trust us, the truth is stranger than the headline. To understand why Longyearbyen has a no-death policy, you first need to understand where it is and what that place does to a human body. Longyearbyen sits on the Svalbard archipelago, a cluster of Norwegian islands, wedged between mainland Norway and the North Pole. It is the world's northernmost permanent civilian settlement. Winter temperatures regularly plunge between 20 and 30 degrees Celsius. Even in July, the warmest month, temperatures only average between 5 and 9 degrees Celsius. The ground beneath the town is permafrost, permanently frozen earth. It doesn't thaw, it doesn't shift, it just holds. And that's where this story begins. Despite its small population, Longyearbyen has a school, a post office, a bar, and a hospital, making it a small but surprisingly self-sufficient community. People move here to work, many in research, tourism, and what remains of the old coal mining industry. Life here is hard, rewarding, and unlike anywhere else on Earth. But underneath this community, beneath the frozen ground, lies a secret that took decades to fully understand, and when they did, it changed everything. Let's go back to 1918. The world is in the grip of the Spanish flu, one of the deadliest pandemics in human history. It tears through populations on every continent. Longyearbyen is not spared. In 1918, the Spanish flu killed 11 people who were buried in the local graveyard. They were laid to rest in the frozen earth, mourned by their community and largely forgotten, as the world moved on from the horror of that pandemic. For decades, nothing seemed unusual. Then, in the 1950s, something alarming was discovered. Svalbard locals made a disturbing realization. Bodies of the dead that had been buried underground weren't decomposing. The permafrost was acting like a natural freezer, preserving everything inside it, perfectly and indefinitely. This was unsettling, but it was what came next that truly shocked people. In the 1990s, scientists exhumed some of the bodies to study the permafrost phenomenon. In the body of a person who had died from the 1918 influenza pandemic, they found that the same deadly virus was still alive, perfectly preserved in the frozen tissue. Let that sink in. A virus that killed tens of millions of people, sealed in the ground, still viable, less than a meter beneath the surface of a living, breathing town. The 1918 flu wiped out approximately 5% of the entire planet's population. And here it was, frozen in time, waiting. The decision made in the 1950s suddenly looked less like a quirky policy and more like an act of profound foresight. Afraid of diseases spreading, the town took its graveyard out of commission and effectively outlawed new burials in Longyearbyen. Now, here's where we need to be honest with you. Because the headline, "It's illegal to die in Longyearbyen," is only partly true, and understanding the nuance actually makes the story more interesting, not less. No law technically prohibits dying in Longyearbyen. The local church leader has said plainly, it is not forbidden to die in Longyearbyen. If that had been the case, how would you punish the act? The governor of Svalbard has officially confirmed that while coffin burials stopped in the 1950s, death itself is not criminalized. But here's the thing, practically speaking, the effect is almost the same. Longyearbyen's hospital is not equipped for extreme trauma, long-term elderly care, or end-of-life care. If someone is seriously ill, they are sent to mainland Norway for treatment. Residents are even required to maintain an address on the mainland in case they need long-term medical care. If someone is close to dying in Longyearbyen, they must be swiftly flown to mainland Norway. And if someone dies unexpectedly, their body is shipped south immediately. The only way to be buried in Longyearbyen is to be cremated first, with remains placed in a funeral urn. And even that requires a state license, So dying isn't illegal, but burial is banned, and the infrastructure ensures that if you're near death, you leave. The practical reality is the same as a ban, it's just enforced through policy and logistics rather than law. The myth that it's illegal to die actually originated from a 2008 BBC article headline that used some artistic license, and the story has been going viral ever since. The real story, though, is far more compelling than a simple law. It's a story about a frozen pandemic virus, a community's survival instinct, and what happens when the permafrost starts to melt.